Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, host of the program and owner-broker of Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, when people sell homes, they typically try to pick up and clean up so that it looks good when they're getting ready to sell. How does someone prepare their home for sale by decluttering?
Well, Richard, I think a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to all the clutter and stuff around them. And it really doesn't matter until you're presenting your home for sale. And the reason why you want to declutter when you're presenting your home for sale is that you want the buyers to appreciate the space. They're not buying your stuff, right? So you want them to visualize themselves living in that home. And that means you have to pare down some of the decoration, some of the excess stuff to make it look almost like a model home, which is very hard to do for most people. And so you kind of get used to stuff around you. It's kind of funny. It hit home with me back during the fires. Somebody suggested, because we were kind of in pre-evacuation, and somebody said, hey, go take a picture of all your stuff. And that way, if your house does burn down, at least you'll have some kind of record. So I thought, oh, good idea. So I took pictures, and then we didn't have to evacuate, thank God. But what happened was afterwards, I looked at the pictures and went, oh my gosh, my house is cluttered. I didn't even know. So you get used to it. You don't notice it. And that is the best way to tell. Just take your phone, take pictures of rooms and look back at that photo, especially if you can look at it on a larger screen like a laptop or an iPad. And it will really usually speak back to you at, oh, okay, yeah, we probably need to move this or move that. So, you have to keep in mind that you want the buyers to envision themselves living there. And that is why the builders are really so successful at doing this. What they tend to do is they will, build a house. So if it's just an empty house, guess what? It doesn't look that attractive. So they spend the money, they make the investment to put in nice furniture, somewhat austere, not overdone, not a lot of clutter. You'll notice they probably don't put a lot of window coverings on. There's no heavy window treatments or anything like that. It's just nice furniture, and you feel like you want to come in and sit down, and it looks very inviting. So they're really good at this. And that's probably a good rule of thumb to go look at model homes and see how they do it. Typically, they're well furnished, they're neutral, they don't have a lot of clutter. And they get these buyers to fall in love with the model home and go, okay, how do I get this home or a home just like this? So the first steps to decluttering are, first of all, take it one room at a time. I think a lot of people naturally want to gravitate to the hardest rooms first, which are things like closets and garages. But for marketing, we don't take pictures of closets or garages because they just don't photograph well unless they're perfectly empty. So you want to start with the key rooms that buyers care about. Number one, curb appeal. So that's on the outside of the house. Make sure it's not cluttered. Make sure your mulch is fresh. Make sure your doorbell isn't broken. Same thing with the backyard and the view. Not too much furniture, clean up, the dead plants this time of year. It's time to start planting pretty soon. Then the next room is the living room. Most people tend to put too much furniture in their living room. So how do you know? Take a picture of it. Take a look at it. Little things like a lot of stuff on the hard surfaces of tables and end tables and things like that are just overwhelming. Covers on those hard surfaces like doilies and little, runners, those kind of things. They look busy in photos. They're fine in person, but for the photos, you want to pack those away. Kitchen, everything off the counters except for the coffee pot. No dish towels hanging off the stove. That's a pet peeve of mine, but we can digitally erase that if people forget. Same thing with the bathrooms. You want to clear off all the clutter, pick up all the rugs for photo day. Same thing with master bedroom. put everything away, everything off the side tables except for the lamps, all the clothing put away. Don't hang clothes on a hat rack or anything like that. So the spaces you don't need to declutter would be closets. Now, the master closet, they're definitely going to look at it and its size. So eventually you're going to have to do that room. And the tips that I've gotten from interior designers are that you want to pack away the clothes that you're not wearing, and everything should be off the floor. So if you have shoes on the floor, put those in boxes, put them up high. But just get rid of when you sit down and decide what you're going to get rid of in a closet or somewhere, make 3 piles: keep, donate, toss out. As far as keeping, I would consider clothes that I've worn in the last year. Otherwise, get rid of it. And same with stuff. If you don't use it, like right now, I know we have 2 sets of china, and I'm not sure I've used it in the last 5 years. You could also consider renting a storage space for the stuff that you absolutely are going to take with you, but you don't want it on display while you're selling. And we actually provide interior designers to help you get ready for photo day. That's part of our services. And we even include a moving van to help you move stuff around, donate, repurpose, whatever. But in general, people tend to fill their homes with too much furniture, too many large pieces of furniture, lots of knickknacks. And with some people, it's a little bit challenging to get them to really pare it down. Usually the feedback I get is, well, it looks so bare in here. You know, it doesn't look like anybody lives here. That's true, but that's the look you kind of want, just not completely empty, because empty is also not that attractive. So in the stuff that you're not going to move with you, consider donating to first family friends, see if they want some of your pieces that you're not going to move. There are a lot of church organizations that will actually take donated furniture, and Goodwill. Some of those places are pretty good about accepting that stuff. And so that's just one of the things that you can do. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how to get ready to sell your home by decluttering. And next up, we're going to be talking about some things that you should consider letting go of on your declutter journey. If you are thinking of move, give us a call. We help people with this all the time. And as part of what we do for our home sellers, we have more than typically 700 buyers that are a high match for any home that we put on the market. Or we also have cash offers if you don't want to deal with the getting ready for sale process either. Call us at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are interested in selling your home, you want to call Barb at 719-301-3900. And we're talking, Barb, about the best ways to get a house ready for sale by decluttering. That affects a lot of people. Barb, what are the top things that home sellers should consider before getting ready to downsize and preparing to sell their home?
Well, just some things that you probably haven't thought of. Like I know I have some in my house. I have a whole bunch of vases that flowers came in. Maybe a florist would like them back. I don't use them very often. I've got a ton of kitchen gadgets I don't use, an apple peeler, which is a contraption that you connect to the counter, old computers, old phones. There's a way to dispose of that, extra bags, gift wrapping supplies, cookbooks that you don't use, tea and coffee that you're not drinking, extra linens, granny's china. There are just different things that you should consider repurposing. Now, there are people that will buy them. There's some people that are really good at selling stuff on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, or you could, some of the more high-end stuff, you could either consider auctioning or taking to a consignment store. But a lot of people generally will tend to, hold on to stuff that's just valuable to them. And they get very surprised, like if their beautiful dining room set is something that their kids don't want, they're like, oh, I paid so much for it. What am I going to do with it? If you're not using it to sell, there are you can definitely consign the pretty ones and generally get some money back. So we can help you do that. As part of what our staff does is we sit down, we take a look at your home, give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, go over all the closing costs after we've established a competitive asking price, and show you exactly how much you're going to put in your pocket when it sells. And then if you want to let us handle the sale, we go forward with our team to help you do these things. But all you need to do is give us a call at 719-301-3900. Just on our website, we have over 28,127 buyers in waiting, looking for homes, and we can help you sell your home. Richard.
You're listening to Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, you've got hot new listings every week. This week, tell us about what you have.
I have some beautiful ones. I have a great home. It's a townhome actually off of Interquest that's priced at $399,500. Beautiful, almost new home. I have a great property out in Peyton on 5 acres with 4-car garage space, priced at $559,900. A stunning ranch down in Fountain that has 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, great backyard, in the low 5s on Declaration Drive. We have a beautiful home, 2-story home in Peyton on Wetterhorn Peak Drive that actually is going to be featured open from 12 to 1 today, priced in the low 6s. Stunning home with lots of bedrooms, beautiful. It has, one of the things I love about it, it has a butler's pantry and right across from the butler's pantry, which is kind of like a, a counter with a little mini fridge, lots of places for either a coffee bar or to park your appliances. But right across from it is a massive walk-in pantry that's half the size of a bedroom. It's pretty cool. We have a beautiful home in the farm, very prestigious farm on Artful Way with gorgeous views of the Air Force Academy outside the covered back deck. Lots of bedrooms and baths. That is almost new home with beautiful, really high-end finishes. And a really cute remodeled home on 2516 West Willamette, priced in the mid-4s, actually low to mid-4s. This gorgeous home has been completely updated, and the lot is zoned R2, which means that you can actually add an auxiliary living unit in the backyard and basically collect rent from that. We have a stunning home in Glen Eagle on Rembrandt Court. Gorgeous views, has been completely updated in the low 6s. A beautiful ranch on Glory Drive that backs to open space in the upper 5s. A stunning home in Pueblo on Royal Troon in the 5s. Beautiful ranch with 5 bedrooms and gorgeous finishes there. And a spectacular home on Sunbird Cliffs, priced at $1.6 million with 5-car garage spaces. You could actually have another family live on the lower level, and that one's gorgeous too. And coming up for next week, we've got a couple of great properties. One is an adorable ranch near Fort Carson in the low 3s, and a spectacular remodeled Gardener Delight in Woodman Valley on 5 acres in the upper 7s. Give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice. It airs every Saturday from 11 until noon, right after Kudlow. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900. Or as always, visit barbhasthebuyers.com. And you can see replays of the show on Barb's YouTube channel, Barb Has the Buyers. Or you can listen to the podcast to hear the entire show on all of the popular platforms like Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and others. Thanks for listening this week. To reach out to Barb, that number is 719-301-3900. Barb, great talking with you. Have a great week. We'll talk next weekend.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.